I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and this month we are tackling the topic of health, because we need health. Health. I need somebody.
Help. Not just anybody. Help.
When I was out of shape and then
couldn't fit in my jeans.
That happened this morning, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I took like a pair of jeans that I had like seriously in high school. I'm like, I wonder, because I haven't eaten sugar in a week. And I'm like, I bet I could put these on now.
Yeah, I said no to a jelly bean. I wonder if I can fit my jeans.
And I couldn't even get them like up my leg. I was like,
who put these toddler jeans in my closet?
I know. Like, why are Scarlett's jeans in my closet?
Yeah. So I in the last 3 years, I've gone from my size that I was since the day I put on jeans. I don't know, like when I was 20. Yeah. I started wearing jeans at 20, I guess. Like
they weren't. Did you grow up Amish?
I was an apostolic Christian for a while.
Like long brown skirts for me until I turned 20.
My hair was close to God and my skirts were anyway, like from the time I was younger, I have always worn the same size jeans. And then we're just going to blame COVID, but it probably wasn't. So I went up a size and I've been one size larger since COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, they've just been a little, like my skin tight jeans have been just a little more skin tight. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I went through probably a year where I tried to wear them at the same time, but my vagina was like pissed.
Yeah. Your vagina's like, ah!
My vagina was like, are you shitting me? No.
Yeah. That is the worst.
Oh my God, when you're wearing a pair of jeans and they're too tight and your vagina's like, get me home. Get me home. I want to be home.
So to the vagina, taking off the jeans is like to the boobs when you take off the bra.
Yeah.
You just hear sighs of relief. Oh no, that's a queef.
Wait. Did we just say queef for the first time on this podcast?
I think we did. I don't
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God. The queef has happened. So yeah, my vagina was unhappy for a year in my size 25s, but now that I'm in size 26, she's like fine.
Okay.
She's good. She's good to go.
Good. So health, you are good at health, actually. You're sort of like a pillar of health.
I'm not a pillar of health. I don't like that.
You're like an anthill of health.
No, a pillar's stretching it, but I have a focus on my health most of the time. That doesn't mean that I don't eat shit that I shouldn't eat sometimes, or not work out, or whatever, drink too much sometimes. But my day-to-day life is pretty healthy, I think.
Yeah.
I started eating healthy when I started feeding Scarlett. That was my number one, because once you're in charge of somebody else's health, you care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started getting into it, and then I started researching it, and it's a whole, I want to call it should be our culture, but it's a subculture.
Yeah. What's tell us about that, because for me, it's so time consuming to figure all this stuff out. So what are some things that you learned, some shortcuts?
Well, and I do think that is kind of meant on purpose, because a lot of the big corporations are selling food that aren't good for you. I mean, It's literally a frozen bag of broccoli and, that's really all you need to eat healthy is just some veg. But, or like if you're a meat eater, broccoli and salmon, that is it. You don't have to like make a spectacle out of it. It's really not that hard to do, if you don't want to complicate it. Now, I love to complicate things. So like, I try to eat organic when I can. I try to, cut out a lot of meat if I can. Jason is a huge meat eater, so I can only get away with so much. But we kind of follow, there's a author called, or his name is Michael Pollan. He did the Omnivores. Pollan. Yeah, Michael Pollan. He wrote the Omnivore's Dilemma. Now he's become more famous because of his work with like psychedelics and stuff like that. But like that book was amazing because he started to go into cultures that only season with meat. So they only flavor with meat. So you don't have to be like a full-on vegan to be healthy. You just have to not go with the American diet, which is a huge piece of meat, a small serving of veg, and whatever potato or rice or whatever it is. Like it has to be a huge serving of veg, a small serving of meat, and whatever carb of your choice, or you don't have to have a carb, at night or whatever. I don't eat carb. I try not to eat carbs at night. But anyway, but it can be so overwhelming when you're trying to, figure out your lifestyle. But when I was 28, like I decided I was addicted to sugar and it was pissing me off because I was drinking like 4 caramel macchiatos a day. Like
they're so tasty.
They were so yummy. Now I couldn't stand it. But yeah. So I gave up sugar when I was 28 on everything. And I remember it was easier to give up smoking than it was to give up sugar. I remember looking at the sugar section at Starbucks, like where you doctor up your coffee and like being like, do not walk over there. Do not walk. Like I would just get a regular venti, like regular coffee and put cream in it. And I would have to force myself not to pour sugar in it. It was the most uncomfortable. I felt like awful.
Yeah.
And then every year after that, I've given up something that is not good. Yeah. But I never take it back. Like fast food, I gave up quickly. Soda, I gave up quickly. There are things that just don't serve you at all.
Yeah. And I like how you said that, like every year I gave up something, because I think the issue with, like, for me anyway, with like eating healthy is like this all or nothing attitude. Like you either have to eat 100% healthy or just don't do it. And for me, it's like, the one thing that I've cut out this few weeks is like, I have stopped eating sugar in the evenings. I've stopped eating chocolate in the evenings. I'll have one like during the day, but I've just not done it very much. And it's like easier than like huge revolutions, right? So just taking like a tiny habit that I had and removing that, rather than
and you're going to sleep so much better. You're going to sleep so much better without sugar in your system after 4 p.m. I've noticed that. Yeah. Like your brain is it. I may be wrong here, but who cares? I'm just going to make it up. And this is my truth. But I think sugar does the same thing in the brain that Coke does without the fun. Yeah. So it's like you're basically doing a line of Coke before you go to bed in your brain. So it doesn't shut down right. It just can't go into its like protective mode and restorative mode from the times it needs to do it. And then you're fucked for the whole next day. And then you're like trying to make up, you're exhausted. And that's when you start to put on extra weight. If you're not getting sleep. Yeah. The way that you're supposed to be getting sleep. Like all roads should lead to a proper night's sleep, in my opinion. Yeah. But, so I started eating healthy, organic when possible. But now I don't know if it's the same way in Poland, allegedly, if Poland is real at all. But our groceries have gone up since COVID. Like it's at least tripled. Like our groceries are so expensive.
So it's interesting because we've just built a house in the countryside. So we've been going to like the farmer's market and the local shops, and it's much cheaper. But in cities, everything's gone through the roof just because of the processing. Yeah. So everything is more expensive.
I mean, like discernibly more expensive. So I've been trying to go to Aldi. Have you ever heard of Aldi?
Yeah. We have Aldi here. Yeah.
So I've always been a Trader Joe's lover, which I do love them. They're just not as close to me as Aldi. And I've been trying to go to Aldi because they do have a lot of healthy foods for less, but like you cannot afford to eat healthy, organic right now because it's just so insane.
Yeah.
So I've been really trying to do like, my Aldi's trips, and I actually have meat delivered that are antibiotic free and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's through the Good Chop. It's called the Good Chop, and they could sponsor us if they wanted to, whatever. But I think good meat, if you're gonna eat meat, you don't have to eat meat. We don't need it to survive. But if you're going to, do not have it full of, antibiotics and disease. It's just, that's just like, I always say, like, if it doesn't make sense to you that eating like something that's full of disease would give you disease, like, then you're not on the reason, you're not going to pass the reasonability test on anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. Maciek studies a lot of like sociology, and people only used to eat meat like as a treat once a week. Like in London, everyone goes for the Sunday roast because that was the once a week thing because people didn't have money to. Meat was like a special treat. Now it's just become part of the everyday diet. So I've started kind of
available.
It just wasn't like meat was.
It wasn't even about money.
Yeah,
like there weren't enough cows in the world to feed everybody.
Yeah.
5 or 7 days a week.
Yeah. And I've been thinking, have you ever thought about becoming a vegetarian? Like, what's your opinion on that? Yeah.
If I didn't have Jason in my home, it would definitely happen. It would naturally happen. I don't go towards meat.
Yeah.
I just don't. I never have. Like, since I had Scarlett, I haven't been able to eat pork. I'll eat a piece of bacon here or, here or there, or like, God forbid there's biscuits and gravy around me because that shit's going to happen.
Your white trash comes out. You're like, I can't help it.
I'm a hillbilly. What do you want?
Genetics.
But, but I could definitely become almost vegan. I can almost become vegan. The only thing that would stop me is half and half in my coffee.
Yeah. I just love cheese. Like I just do. It's although I've been eating less of it, but like I just really sometimes like Parmesan on my pasta. Like, and I can't do vegan cheese. That shit is gross.
Vegan cheese is not cheese. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
it's just gross.
Please, let's call it something else. Let's just call it something else. Like
vegan spread or something.
It's something. It's like
Vegas,
and by the way,
slice or something.
All this shit, almond milk, oat milk, any of these, I don't understand why we don't force people to call them juices.
Almond juice. Yeah.
It's oat juice. It's almond juice. It's not milk. Stop.
Because it's milky.
It's not milk. The only thing I'll even let fly is coconut milk for some reason. And I don't know why I let that happen because it's still juice. It's not coming from a titty.
An almond titty.
It's an almond titty. Can you see that little nipple? It's like dried up and crusty looking. That she's got an oat titty if I've ever seen one. Nice pair of oat titties.
Almond titties.
Oh God, I'm gonna be looking at women, and if they have like weird looking like almond shaped breasts, would be like almond milk comes from them. Oh my God.
So what's on the agenda for you for this month for like taking taking control of the health situation? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I know that, I mean, I naturally intermittent fast. So that's just, I can't, even if I say I'm not going to, I end up doing it because
Yeah.
I can't eat before like 10 or 11 at least.
Yeah.
And, but my goals for nutrition, is probably just to eat a little less,
Yeah.
What are your goals for nutrition?
No more sugar and junk, because COVID was like horrid for me. Like, in terms of, I just stopped giving a shit about eating healthy at all. And I fell into this like habit of just like, I ate a bag of salt and vinegar potato chips every day, like while watching something. And I don't want to do that anymore. So it's just cutting out the junk and also eating less meat. I really want to do that because I just have started living in the countryside. I've started feeling sorry for animals.
Oh,
I really have. Like, I just feel bad. Like, I see pigs and stuff and I'm like, oh, like, I don't want to eat them. Yeah.
my friend Robin has a pig that is her pet. It's her like family member. And I'm always like, oh my God, like if I think about eating meat too long, I could easily like just from a moral standpoint, but I also like understand it. I do understand that there is a place for it in the world.
Yeah.
Eating it.
Yeah. If it's organically farmed and it's like, and that's what we have in the countryside, there's farmers that their animals are brought up in peaceful, nice environments. And that's what happens. They're not like suffering, stuck in these cages on top of one another, suffering their whole lives and then slaughtered. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it's a big problem. It's a huge problem.
Yeah.
So you're going to eat less meat.
Less meat, junk. I've already done that. So I've already cut out the junk. And then I just want to start eating more vegetables and more healthy things. And so I've reached out to she's a chef and she's a nutritionist, and she's also my stepsister-in-law. And she just sent me a bunch of recipes from the New York Times. She said that it's like a fabulous, like, if you sign up, they send you recipes every day. And so she sent me a couple that were like some really, really great sauces and stuff like that. So
you're going to have to keep me posted on that.
I'm going to start posting.
I'm always looking for something.
Yeah. She sent me like a bunch of amazing sauces that you could just put on plain, chicken or fish or whatever, even vegetables that really make them taste better. And that's what I'm looking for. Cause I know what to eat healthy vegetables, some kind of like steamed fish, or I will eat chicken if that's, somehow I feel less sorry for chicken. I just like white chicken breasts. I don't like dark meat. I'm not a dark meat fan.
So I don't eat white meat at all because it's lower in iron.
Oh.
So I'm almost exclusively like dark meat, but like, and all chefs cook with only dark meat, like for the most part, because it's more flavorful. Yeah. But I'm always wondering, like, what kind of chicken I will not eat a chicken breast. No, I just can't. I don't like the texture of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm excited about your nutritionalist. Even like she's your stepsister-in-law.
Yeah. So my mom married, and he has a son, and it's his son's wife. So it's my stepdad's son's wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you could just say sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just say sister-in-law. It wouldn't hurt anything.
Yeah. Sister-in-law. Okay. Yeah. She's my sister.
Just say sister. Yeah. Just cut out the step.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I got the Lulu mirror?
Yes, you did. And we don't have it here. So can you please describe what it is and what it does? And I can't wait to hear all about it.
It's a mirror that you hang. And I built a wellness room, and I know that sounds like a frickin' reach around.
Yeah.
So it's right in the first floor of my house. And I'm going to get aerial yoga hammocks for it this month.
What's that?
Aerial yoga, we've always had in our houses, up into this house. It's basically you can do inversions. Scarlett is incredible on it. Like she can do flips and shit.
Oh my
But it's
God.
like a hammock that you do. It does like it's really good for stretching. It's very good for it's very you can meditate in it. It kind of feels you can put yourself in it and it feels like a womb. It's really neat. So we're going to put 2 in there for that. And then we have this Lulu mirror, and they have hundreds of instructors
Wow.
that come up on the mirror, and you can do any kind of workout from boxing to meditation to stretching
Wow.
to yoga. Yeah, it's very cool, I think.
I want to pick like this is amazing. Glad that you guys have access to so much. I'm sure we have access to that stuff here. It's just not like readily like available and around. Like you have to hunt for it. So
I'm wondering if you could just ship it to yourself and sign up for it.
yeah.
There.
Yeah. I have to research all this because this sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have more sex.
Good.
I think physically that's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I haven't told Jason this, so I may not commit to that fully. So that's my ambition coming.
That's so funny.
I know. So don't anybody tell him that. If it works out, it works out.
Jason, yeah, don't have him listen to the episode.
He's gonna be like, he'll listen to it like a month from now and be like, you owe me. You said.
He's like, girl, are you healthy or what?
I think you could use some toning. Oh my God. So yeah.
Once again, Lizzy's vagina. No. First the jeans, now this.
Now this? God.
First the jeans, now this.
What are you going to do for physical activity? What's your ambitions?
My ambitions are so I've October 1st through the 9th, I've booked a yoga retreat. It's yoga every day because I really want to get back into yoga, and I've already signed up for Pilates because I hunch. I hunch a little bit. I want to get my posture to where I want it, and then I want to
titties out.
Get them titties out, and I want to and I want to like strengthen my core. Like that's what I want to do for sure. And then I just want to do some form of physical activity every day, whether that's like a walk or a bike ride or something, just to get the sweat going a little bit. But I personally don't like gyms because even if it's my home gym, because I just don't like the machines and all that. I like to be
I don't like gyms. I don't like James. Yeah. I don't like Jimmy. I don't like any of it.
I'm going to like have you film your Lulu mirror stuff and then just like do it. Like, it's going to be
FaceTime you.
It's going to be the poor man's Lulu mirror. Like, I can do it. It's going to be a slight delay.
You're going to be like 5 seconds from being in shape all the time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, we've got the nutrition, we've got the physical activity, and then you're doing yoga for mind body experience.
Yeah. I'm doing yoga, Pilates, and then just being in some sort of, I'm committing to physical activity every day. So
I love it. I'm also doing that because I need routine in my life. That's a huge thing. And I'm going to do it at the same time every day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And then I'm trying something totally out of my comfort zone and something new. I'm trying microdosing this month.
I cannot wait to hear about it. Like, how are you? Can you tell me a little bit about it? Like, how did you research it? Like, where are you doing it? Like,
well, first of all, do you know I've never tried LSD? I've never tried any kind of mushrooms, nothing before. But fun fact, my brother, when I was trying to buy my first car when I was 16, he sent me a couple sheets of LSD for my neighbor to sell for me to get my first car with.
That is so funny.
Through
So are
the
you,
US Post.
yeah, that is so funny. So are you microdosing LSD or mushrooms, or what are you microdosing? Okay.
Psilocybin mushrooms. So and microdosing is so cool because it doesn't have any outward, like you don't like see anything.
Right.
It just opens up different pathways in the brain.
Okay.
And it's really good for any kind of clarity of purpose, any kind of I mean, if you do the research on it, it has so many health benefits. I started doing it because my mom suffers, or I started researching it because my mom suffers from debilitating depression.
Mm.
So, I mean, debilitating, horrible, hell on earth depression.
Mm.
So she's going to be trying it. And so I said, hey, Jason and I were like, hey, we'll try it too. Why not? Because it has a lot of benefits when it comes to becoming and clarifying your purpose, becoming more motivated, like, and people have been using it for thousands of years. So
It's so funny because I actually microdosed like 20 years ago, like before it was a thing. So
wow.
I had a friend who gave me like 8 tabs of ecstasy. And what I did was I took a tiny little bit every day, like a teeny bit, because I didn't want to be rolling, like, and give me a massage, when I was at work. So I just took a tiny, tiny little bit. Like I like crushed them up into like eighths, and I would just take a little bit, and I felt so good. Like just really chill. Like my body felt good. But of course, I'm an addict, and my microdose turned into a macrodose.
yeah, it can like.
But I was like, I want more. So like, but I do still remember like that I wasn't high. I just felt very relaxed, and I had a lot of clarity, and I had some energy, and it was like a really nice. Like if I could have maintained that, like great, but like I couldn't. So it just but it was. Like I'm really interested in that experience and how it's going to help you guys. So like that's what I'm most interested about. So I can live vicariously through you.
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's funny, like we're glomming onto my mom's solution, but I think that like everyone should try it. Like, why not if you can? Not if you're an addict.
Yeah.
But like, it just so I'm very, very, very excited about that and seeing how that feels. And my friend Tatiana's brother-in-law, he does it for a living. Like he guides people and stuff like
and
that.
I'm hoping it's legal because we're talking about it.
I am too. You can order it. Like
okay, because so I think it is legal because I've seen like commercials for it on Instagram. So I'm assuming it's legal now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's gotta be, or they might not focus on it. Like a lot of times, like you can buy a lot of places you can buy like marijuana seeds and it's not legal to grow there, but they just don't like, it's no longer,
okay. It's decriminalized.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that like, I mean, I hope I'm not, but my dad, I don't know. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble, but
me too. We'll ask our listeners to bail you out. Anyone who's listening to this episode,
come for me. God. But so I'm excited about that from a mind body experience.
Yeah.
And, and I really do like you want to get back into yoga, more into yoga. I've never been a yogi, but like I would like to be better at that because I feel my joints feel tight.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like, I feel like the effects of, just not being active enough.
Yeah. And I think looking at the elderly, a lot of the elderly here, they can, like a lot of people I see, they're in their 60s and 70s. They can barely walk. And that's, I think, I want mobility when I'm older. Like I want mobility. Like my grandmother had. My grandma was 93 years old. She didn't get up from the couch. Like she just got right up.
She hopped right up.
She was like very, very active. And that's where I want to be. I never want to be like where I'm immobile. I think that would be one of my biggest fears.
Well, I watched the Blue Zone special on Netflix that just came
I saw
out
that yesterday. Is that good?
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it last night and it's incredible. But the coolest part about it is in Okinawa, they the elderly, they don't have like seats in their house. They sit on the floor. They're like they're up and down off the floor. I noticed that in all the blue zones, one thing that was really, really important is everybody walks and
Yeah.
everybody has a community
Yeah.
and everyone has a purpose.
Yeah.
And it was like unbelievable. Like, if you don't think your community, the people around you matter, watch that because you're like, oh, okay, I need to surround myself with really cool people.
Yeah.
Just it has health benefits.
Yeah. There's a book that I'm hoping we can do maybe this month. It's called Growing Young. And it's about this woman, and her parents were doctors, and she always thought the secret to longevity was eating right, exercising, and all these things are important. But they found that one of the most important factors of growing old well is being involved in a community, being surrounded by really good people, your people, and feeling a part of a community. And I'm 100% on board with that.
Well, we were talking to my mom the other day, and connects with that so well because, like, there is some kind of security in knowing that the people that you're around want you to be there.
Yeah.
And love you and want the best for you. And it's so important to be around those type of people, not the people who know you best necessarily, because they kind of sometimes want you to stay the same. Like, you don't want those, like, those aren't the people you want. You want the people who love you and want the best for you and want you around no matter what. And just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so important to know that the people around you are just loving you and wanting the best for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but also I think with the elderly, especially, like, the brain is a muscle and it degenerates with age. And being around people, your brain is constantly working like a muscle, and that controls the rest of your whole body, right? So I think, in her book, she like looked at all these studies, and she looked at, the lifespan of Italians, and they all kind of live on top of one another, and they're constantly, like, Maciek's ex-wife is from Sicily, and he said, like, it was so overwhelming because they were never alone. Like, it was just her whole Sicilian family all the time. But it keeps your brain going. It keeps you sort of active. So I think that's another reason. Your brain is a muscle and it needs to work.
Yes. And being like a vast amount of age groups around each other too, because, like, you honor the wisdom of the elderly and the vitality of the young, and they kind of rub off on each other. It's like, there wasn't a certain kind of diet in any of these blue zones.
Yeah.
Like, there were a healthy diet, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was like, in Italy, there was, people who are making pasta, like, and they are like making pasta. And I also think there is something there with not the routine, but the making of food together and the eating together and enjoying, like, certain
rituals.
That's exactly the word I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah.
The ritual of being in a group, in a family, even if it's a chosen family.
Yeah.
Having rituals together is really important. Keeps you on pace.
Yeah. I agree.
I
agree.
Well,
man, this is going to be an exciting month. I hope, like, we started a Facebook group, We Need Health, and people are joining in on the journey. So, like, we invite everybody to join in our group and, post what they're doing, because that group is keeping me motivated as well. Like,
I know.
It was so funny because I was almost tempted last night to eat something that I probably shouldn't have eaten. And then I'm like, I can't because of the group. Like the group, it's like
Yeah.
this whole community thing. Like I'm accountable to the group. I can't let them down.
Well, and you should post a video on there of yourself saying that, because like that will motivate other people to
I
kind of
will.
like, yeah, you should totally do that, because I think it's important to surround yourself with people who are trying to be better too. And that
Yeah.
group is We Need Health. And that group is a great group for that.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. I cannot wait to like talk about our progress. So you're going
Me
to try
too.
the Lulu mirror this week?
Oh yeah. I'm going to
Okay.
be trying the Lulu mirror. And I'll let you know on that. And then I'm going to be, doing it at the same time. I'm going to try a couple of different like types of workouts.
Nice. Nice. I can't wait to see. You got to send pics too. Like,
I will. I absolutely will.
yeah, amazing.
And
I'm so
I look
happy we're
forward
doing this.
Me too. Me too. It's needed. After doing cancer and addiction and sex, it's like, okay, now can we just focus on like the basics, man? Because let's get down to the basics.
Yeah. Let's do a little self-care, please.
I need help.
I need help. All right.
All right, baby. So I'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. I love ya.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us this week on We Need Help, the podcast, the duct tape of self-help.
Please visit our website, weneedhelpthepodcast.com, where you can find links to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and all the others, so you'll never miss a show.
You'll also find links to the books we've reviewed and our amazing store.
If you enjoy this podcast, go right now, because if you're anything like us, you'll never do it later. Like and share our page and episodes on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or just tell a friend about the show. That would help us out too.
Also, feel free to let us know what you need help with, and we'll try to cover it in a future episode. You can also find us on Instagram at weneedhelp_the podcast.
Thank you for listening.